Welcome to Jersey Matters. I'm Larry Menti. This week, the New Jersey Rifle and Pistol Association lost a big battle in court, limiting the number of rounds in a rifle's magazine. We'll tell you where that fight is going now. Also, we'll introduce you to a Nobel Prize winner for physics from Rumson, New Jersey. But first, our interview with Steve Rogers. You see him on TV quite often. Now he is a member of the 2020 Re-election Advisory Board for Donald Trump. Here's Steve Rogers. When he runs for re-election, can Donald Trump win New Jersey? Here to talk about that is Steve Rogers, former police officer in Nutley, current member of the President's Campaign Advisory Board, and former candidate for governor. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Most importantly, you are now part of the America Winning Coalition. What is that?
Well, the American Winning Coalition is an organization based here in New Jersey that's committed and dedicated to advancing President Trump's Make America Great Again policies. We've been all over the state. Thousands of New Jersey residents, by the way, are involved with us now because they want to participate in the upcoming re-election campaign of the president.
But let's be realistic. He cannot win New Jersey.
Let's be realistic, Larry. When Donald Trump, businessman, builder, developer, ran for president, he could never become president. He's the president of the United States, so he can win New Jersey. He could win anywhere, provided we put the time and the effort and the strength that we did in 2016.
He not only, let's forget New Jersey for a second, because we'll have to agree to disagree on whether he can win New Jersey. He did surprisingly win Pennsylvania. He did surprisingly win Wisconsin. He surprisingly won some states that haven't gone Republican for a long time, but by the thinnest of margins. Now he has some negative press. How does he win those states again?
Well, here's what he has done very successfully, and I make it a point when I hear polls. You know, the polls say this, negative here, negative there. He has done what Ronald Reagan managed to do. He tapped into the spirit, the heart, soul, and spirit of the American people. He's talking Main Street USA's language. He's talking tax cuts. He delivered. He's talking unemployment at low levels. He's delivered. I mean, he's delivered on so many fronts. The American people are now beginning to see their quality of life and the future of the children that they have getting better and better. That's how he wins.
You also have the Mueller investigation out there, which means, depending on what happens, he may not be running for re-election.
There has been absolutely, Larry, no evidence of collusion. Remember, this was all about Russian collusion. No evidence. So what does Mueller do? He finds these low-level crimes, lying to the FBI, maybe income tax evasion, and he prosecutes under those laws. But keep in mind this. Just keep in mind, I mean, now those things are being questioned even by judges who want to see, how did the FBI conduct these interviews?
But the Bill Clinton special prosecutor's investigation started with real estate dealings in Arkansas. He was impeached for lying about an affair. It's interesting that 30 years later, you have a president with a special prosecutor that they were looking into Russian collusion, and now it seems to be focused on payments to hide a sexual affair.
John Edwards ran for president, the Democratic nomination for president in 2008. Same exact charges, same exact allegations. He was indicted and it was thrown out. John Edwards was never convicted. It was the Federal Election Law Commission that said, no foul here. What he did wrong, maybe immoral, but there was no violation of law. And we run into the same thing with President Donald Trump. And because he's Donald Trump and the media has it in for him, they paint a tale of woe picture. He's done nothing wrong.
Let's talk about the promises he kept, because you said, look at what he's done, look at the promises he's kept. You're on Fox News a lot, and congratulations on that. You do a nice job.
Thank you.
Tucker Carlson is one of the stars of Fox News, and he's got his own show, and he's a supporter of Donald Trump. And yet, when he was doing an interview in Sweden for a Swedish TV show, he said Donald Trump hasn't kept the promises that were core to his campaign. He hasn't built the wall. He hasn't defunded Planned Parenthood. He hasn't repealed and replaced Obamacare.
Well, he's building the wall, as we know. That's a great controversy as we speak. With regard to Planned Parenthood, I know he's working on that. And in addition to that, what was the other issue? I'm sorry.
Obamacare. He didn't repeal and replace Obamacare.
He's been working very, very hard to do that. He's got to get the Republicans, well, now he's going to have to convince some Democrats to make some changes in the health care plans around the country. But keep in mind, Rome wasn't built in a day. Could you imagine? Here's a president that's accomplished so much under constant fire. Could you imagine if people decided to support him, what he could accomplish? He cannot do this alone. Saying that, he's going to do it with the voice of the American people as we move forward.
So you're part of the re-election campaign right now. What is the focus going to be? Economy, economy, economy? And how do you keep a president who goes off script so much from stepping on that message?
Well, to begin with, America first. That has been the theme from day one, and he's delivered. The economy is strong. People have more money in their wallets. Unemployment rate, especially in the minority community, historical lows. So people are going to vote their pocketbook. You're right, Larry. They're going to vote their economy. Now, with regard to his tweets, I think this is what you're talking about.
Well, no, and also his rallies sometimes. He says something.
Yeah. Well, think about this. Just think about this. I've been to some of those rallies. 20, 30, 40,000 people coming to those rallies. Hillary Clinton had one a few weeks ago. What, 10 people showed up?
No, I get that. But those people are voting for him. The people at that rally, he's already got.
Yeah.
It's the people that read the headlines the next day or watch the networks when they pull that one thing that he says when he goes off prompter. And I know people in his communications staff.
Yep.
They get frustrated because they want him to stay on message.
But it works. It works. Look, you're right. People get frustrated, but they don't particularly, and I'm talking about the voters, they may get frustrated over his methodology in delivering a message, but he's delivering on his promises. And that's what they're going to vote on, not the way he talks. Look, I'm from Brooklyn, he's from Brooklyn. You know, we speak differently from Brooklyn, all right? But that language is our language. It's the middle-class language, not the elitist language.
Now, the fact that Nancy Pelosi is now going to be Speaker, the fact that now the Democrats are taking over the House, does that hurt Donald Trump or help Donald Trump?
The President of the United States is a great negotiator. He knows how to win people over.
But he now has a villain.
Yeah, well, but don't forget, he suggested a few weeks ago maybe it'd be good for Nancy Pelosi to become the Speaker. He did say that. So he's sending the olive branch.
You think he was serious when he said that, or he was tweaking them a little bit?
Well, he could have been, but at the same time, he's a smart man. He's not a billionaire based on nothing. He's a smart negotiator. He knows he has to deal with them, and I tell you, I think we're going to be surprised down the road. The Democrats are going to want things that they need, that they promised their constituents, as the president does. He's going to bring people together.
Do you think, because as we know with an appropriations bill, the way the appropriations bills work, everybody attaches their own bill. You got a lot of people leaving Congress right now. This is their last chance to pay off contributors and to help some local foundation.
Sure. Let's build a bridge in a desert.
Exactly, and they're putting things on there. They want this to go through too. At the end of the day, don't you think that many of those congressmen are going to go, wait a second, I get too much personally out of this, I'm going for this appropriations bill?
Sure they are. They want to, look at it, the game is this. I have to look good as a congressman in my district. If they want a bridge in the middle of a desert, I'll go for this bill, Mr. President. Here it is. I'm on board.
So the Republicans who are not on his side right now, that are voting against that, because they could do it if it was all Republicans voting for funding for the wall. The Republicans that are not out on board right now, you expect them to come over?
I do, because they are totally underestimating the support this president has. I mean, I think they're drinking the Kool-Aid too, listening to too much of the, negative news. He is extremely popular. Despite what a lot of these polls say, he is one of the most popular presidents that we've had, and they're going to look at the numbers as they move forward and run for office. They better attach themselves to him and not distance themselves.
Steve, it's a pleasure. Thanks so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Steve Rogers, former police officer, current member of the President's Campaign Advisory Board, and former candidate for governor. Jersey Matters continues right after this. Coming up next, the New Jersey Rifle and Pistol Association is taking their fight over rifles to the Supreme Court. We'll talk to the president when Jersey Matters continues.